You twist your ankle stepping off a curb, or you land wrong on your wrist during a pickup game. It swells immediately. It hurts to move. And you have to decide right now, is this a sprain or is it actually broken? For decades, everyone was taught the same first move for either one. RICE, rest, ice, compression, elevation. Sports medicine research has since walked that advice back, specifically because parts of it can slow down your recovery. The truth is a sprain and a fracture can feel almost identical in the first few minutes, and treating them the exact same way isn't harmless. The wrong move can turn a 2-week recovery into a 2-month one, or hide a break that needed a doctor. In the next few minutes, you'll learn what actually tells a sprain apart from a break. The science-backed protocol that's replaced RICE, the line that means you need an X-ray today and not next week. And the myths that get people limping around on broken bones. A sprain and a fracture are injuries to two completely different structures that happen to sit right next to each other. A sprain is a stretched or torn ligament, the tough band of tissue that connects one bone to another across a joint. A fracture is a crack or a complete break in the bone itself. It can be a hairline crack you'd never see coming, or a full break where the bone is in two separate pieces. Both usually come from the same kind of trauma. A twist, a fall, a hard landing, a joint forced past the range it's built for. That's exactly why they get confused so often in the first 60 seconds. Ankles and wrists are the two most commonly confused joints, because both are surrounded by ligaments and small bones packed close together, so the swelling from either injury lands in almost the exact same spot. Here's the distinction that matters for what you do next. A sprain is a soft tissue problem that mostly needs protection and movement to heal. A fracture is a structural problem that usually needs to be immobilized and, in many cases, professionally set before it heals at all. Start with weight and use. If you can put some weight on the injured ankle or use the injured wrist for simple tasks, even if it hurts, that leans toward a sprain. Complete inability to bear any weight or use the limb at all leans hard toward a fracture. Look for deformity. A joint or limb that looks visibly bent, shortened, or crooked compared to the uninjured side is one of the most reliable signs of a fracture, and it is not something a sprain typically causes. Listen to what happened. A loud crack or snap at the moment of injury, followed by immediate, severe swelling within minutes, points toward bone. Sprains usually swell up more gradually, over an hour or two. Feel for the pain's exact location. Sharp, pinpoint pain directly over a specific spot on the bone itself suggests a fracture. Pain that spread more broadly around the joint, especially where the ligaments run, suggests a sprain. None of these signs alone is proof. The only way to know for certain is an X-ray, but together they tell you which category you're in tonight. A probable sprain you can manage at home, or a probable fracture that needs a doctor today. Here's what actually replaced RICE for the vast majority of sprains, strains and bruises. A two-phase protocol called Peace and Love, built from newer research on how soft tissue really heals. The first few days are PEACE. Protect the injured area from more damage, but avoid the complete rest that used to be standard, since research shows extended total rest can weaken healing tissue rather than help it. Elevate the injury above heart level when you can, and avoid anti-inflammatory medications and heavy icing early on, if possible. Both can dull short-term pain, but swelling is part of your body's own repair process, and blunting it too aggressively appears to slow healing down. Compress the area with an elastic bandage to limit swelling and educate yourself. Most sprains heal better with early, gentle movement than with a boot and a couch, so avoid unnecessary imaging, injections, or treatments that don't change your recovery. After the first few days, shift to love optimism, since your mindset genuinely affects recovery speed and vascularization. Meaning, light cardio, like walking or swimming, to pump blood into the area without stressing the injury. Finally, load and exercise. Gradually reintroduce normal movement and strengthening as pain allows. Complete immobilization for a simple sprain, once considered the safe move, is now understood to actually delay full recovery. Here is the line that decides whether peace and love is even appropriate or whether you need a doctor today instead. Any visible deformity, any bone visible through the skin, or complete inability to bear weight or use the limb at all means this is a probable fracture, not a sprain. Numbness, tingling, or a limb that's unusually cold or pale below the injury is a circulation or nerve emergency on top of whatever else is going on, and it means you need medical care immediately, not home treatment. If the injury involves the head, neck, spine, hip, or thigh bone, skip the home treatment decision entirely and get emergency care, because injuries to those areas carry risks far beyond a simple sprain or break. If none of those red flags are present, if there's swelling and pain but weight-bearing and movement are possible, you're very likely dealing with a sprain, and peace and love is exactly the right call. Though a doctor visit within a day or two is still smart if swelling or pain is significant. If you do suspect a fracture, do not try to push, pull, or realign the bone yourself, even if it looks crooked. Straightening it can cause more damage to nerves, blood vessels, and surrounding tissue than the original injury did. Immobilize the area in the exact position you found it in. A splint can be improvised from a rolled magazine, a sturdy stick, or even a folded pillow, padded and secured with cloth strips so the joints above and below the injury can't move. If the bone has broken through the skin, this is a compound fracture and a medical emergency. Cover the wound loosely with a clean cloth. Do not press the bone back in, and call 911 immediately. Watch for signs of shock while you wait for help. Pale, cool, or sweaty skin, a fast, weak pulse, and confusion. If shock signs appear, lay the person down, elevate their legs if it doesn't hurt the injury, and keep them warm. For a closed injury that's clearly serious, a cold pack wrapped in a thin towel for 20 minutes at a time can help with pain and swelling while you get to urgent care or the emergency room for imaging. Myth: if you can wiggle it or walk on it, it's not broken. False, and dangerously so. The muscles and tendons that move your toes and fingers often run from far up the limb. So a fracture can exist while movement still works almost normally. Myth: RICE is still the gold standard first move for any sprain. Outdated. The doctor who coined the acronym in the 1970s publicly retracted his support for both complete rest and heavy icing, citing evidence that both can delay healing. Myth: you need an X-ray before you can start treating a sprain. Not true. You can begin peace and love immediately based on the signs in this video and get imaging afterward if any red flag from the line shows up. Myth: a loud crack always means a break, and silence always means it's just a sprain. Neither is reliable alone. Some fractures happen silently, and some sprains involve a distinct popping sound as the ligament tears. Myth: icing constantly for the first day is always the safer choice. Brief: occasional icing for comfort is fine, but constant icing for hours can restrict the blood flow your tissue needs to actually begin repairing itself. Kids and teens are uniquely tricky because their bones have growth plates, softer areas near the joints that can fracture in ways that look and feel exactly like a sprain, with no obvious deformity at all. Older adults face the opposite risk. Age-related bone loss, sometimes called osteoporosis, means a fall that would sprain a younger person's wrist can fracture an older adult's with far less force. Athletes and weekend warriors should watch for stress fractures, tiny cracks from repeated impact rather than one single injury. The warning sign is pain that gets steadily worse with activity over days or weeks, not an injury with one clear moment. Anyone with diabetes or poor circulation should treat foot and ankle injuries especially seriously, since reduced sensation can mask fracture pain and slower healing raises the stakes of getting the diagnosis wrong. To recap, check for deformity, total inability to bear weight, numbness, or a visible bone. Any of those means get medical care now. Otherwise, start peace and love. Protect, elevate. Avoid heavy icing and anti-inflammatories early. Compress and educate yourself on early movement. After the first few days, shift to load, optimism, vascularization, and exercise, easing back into normal use as pain allows, instead of staying immobilized longer than necessary. Prevention cuts a lot of these injuries off before they start. Proper footwear, a real warm-up before activity, balance training for ankles prone to rolling, and enough calcium and vitamin D to keep bones strong as you age. We've built a free, printable checklist at firsthour.com covering the sprain versus fracture signs, the full peace and love protocol, and the red flags from this video, so you have it before you ever need it. If this could help someone you know, share it, and subscribe for the next emergency skill that could matter just as much. We'll see you in the next one.